We are mortal, and we die violently often. Each day, human beings have their limbs severed in traumatic accidents. Each day, human beings are trapped, raped, beaten, murdered. Each day, people become crippled. An optimist says things could be worse. An optimist says in history things were worse, and this is in fact the most peaceful era of human history. A pessimist says things will never be perfect. How could things be perfect? How could there be no traumatic accidents and no violent crime? There are a lot of ways. This is one. Impart a force vector wherever and whenever you need it. Force a car to a halt before it hits the child falling off the bicycle. Catch the child before the child scrapes their knee. The woman fleeing from the assailant. Force the assailant to stop. Lift the woman to safety. Imparting force vectors wherever and whenever you need them is impossible today, and is the reason the future should not look like today. The future should look like whatever that superpower looks like. Another way to make the world perfect is to upload your mind. Living in a computer, you won't fear death or anyone. Beyond safety, uploading your mind opens the door to limitless experience, regardless of cost. This is perhaps the best solution. But if it is the only solution, then whatever corporation or government or individual offers this solution will have a precipitous monopoly on how human beings spend their time. And so, humanity needs multiple solutions to the problem of an imperfect world. We cannot trust the seller of a mind upload if there is not a worthy alternative. Imparting a force vector wherever and whenever you need it. You could fly, you could stop a bullet, you could construct a palace, a kingdom, a world. You could play baseball the way baseball was meant to be played, without the helmet. There's no reason to think telekinesis is possible, but telekinesis is not the only way to impart a force vector wherever and whenever you need it. Today, humanity has particle accelerators that move mass at nearly the speed of light with atomic precision. Today, a father holds their child's shoulders when they learn to ride a bike. But in the future, what will our hands look like? Enter the Darwin bark spider. This naturally evolved organism, this survival mechanism, is the size of a thumbnail, and it can build bridges across rivers in minutes. Once the initial scaffold is deployed and arrives on target, the Darwin bark spider traverses the imperceptibly thin strands of spider silk and augments its design to suit its needs. What could you do if you could put spider silk wherever and whenever you need it? Spider silk is more than twice as strong as steel. It is extremely lightweight and often invisible to the human eye. Spider silk is a 100% non-living organic material, and although today is extremely expensive and difficult to produce, its molecular components are extremely cheap and abundant. Spider silk can be the force vector. Spider silk is strong enough to stop a car, catch a child, lift a woman, and halt an arm wielding a knife. Spider silk is strong enough to construct skyscrapers, and at the same time soft enough to sleep on. Spider silk can be your chair. Spider silk can be your elevator. Spider silk can make baseball safe. Spider silk can build you your home. Spider silk can serve you food in a restaurant with the dexterity and care of a human hand, and on the same day stop a criminal gunman with the force of a rocket engine. With spider silk, the world can operate efficiently, effectively, and aesthetically, applying force vectors wherever and whenever you need them. Electric motors, jet engines, ballistic calculations, and drone technology spool and sow a society where the city's technological nervous system reflexes to save citizens from earthquakes, natural disasters, and attacks, and at the same time cuts our hair, wards off the wolves, and tends to our gardens. The same city's body which can play a Spider-Man superhero to citizens' distress can also play the Darwin bark spider, shooting webs across rivers to construct traffic-alleviating bridges, or utilizing mechanical advantages, levers, pulleys, and string tension to raise buildings and skyscrapers. With the mind upload, humanity will achieve perhaps the most life-saving technology ever created. The Earth's carrying capacity for human beings will raise dramatically, as the need for muscle mass, calories beyond the basal metabolic rate, and eventually the human body altogether dissipates. The mind upload will end violence and crime, but it might not end tragedy and suffering if humanity is offered no meaningful alternative to life in a computer.